Well, good afternoon, everybody. Kathleen Bertrand with Bronze Lens Film Festival, and we're delighted that you're with us today for Bronze Lens Live. Got a wonderful filmmaker lined up in the queue that's going to be joining us shortly. I just want to say that we hope everybody is being safe and practicing whatever the rules may be in your state or your city, but whatever it takes to be safe and to protect you and protect your family, do those things. If it's a mask or washing your hands, man, can somebody suggest a great lotion? Because after washing your hands 50 times a day, it's a thing. But just really want you to be safe out there. And as people of color in America, we have to be extra safe because all kinds of craziness is going on, and we've got to protect ourselves and continue to tell our stories. How about that? So let's wait and see if our special guest has come into the room yet, because I'm excited to tell you about this young filmmaker. And hey, everybody, Kay Sorter, and let me see. I can't see. Now y'all gonna make me put my glasses on. William Roebuck, back again. Thank you. FW Style, hey. KLM Cindy, hey. Crystal A. King, yay. Thank you for joining us. And we're excited to have you. This is something that we started a couple of weeks ago, our Bronze Lens Live. Hey, DJ Chucky, glad to see you. In next week, actually, we're going to start weekly. Hey, Rhea. Rhea's our social media manager, and we appreciate her so much. Is that Renee Elaine I see? Hey, Renee, up in North Carolina. This is awesome. Johannes, yay. Good to see you up in New York. Coco at Dawn, thanks for joining us. And Indiana, KLM Cindy, that's awesome. Glad to have you with us. And B. Ray Huntley joined, so glad to have you with us. Daniel Gavigan, I'm going to get it. Thank you, Daniel, for being with us. La Petite Morte Movie. Glad to have you with us. And this is awesome. Naima Fuller, yes, you joined. Good girl. Not tonight, today. This is awesome. And Johannes, you're in the DMV now? Okay, well, represent. Glad to have you with us. As I said, we started this a couple of weeks ago, and starting next week, it's going to be weekly because we have so many just amazing filmmakers, and we're loving it. We're absolutely loving the fact that so many of these filmmakers have come through Bronze Lens. And B. Huntley Films has joined, so request to be seen, Bobby, so that I can bring you on in, and that'll be great. We have so many just amazing filmmakers who have come through Bronze Lens, and they are doing outstanding and amazing things. Not only filmmakers, but actors and actresses as well. And we just want to be able to share their stories with you and hope that it might be inspiring to you. Join us, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together at home or in the thread below and clap for Bobby Huntley. Woo!
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm here. We're here. We made it. Can you hear me okay?
We made it. It's a rainy day in the A, y'all. It's just been raining all day, but it's a gentle rain and it's a calming, cleansing rain. So I'm just going to accept all of that. Good vibes waiting for you, Bobby.
Yeah, I feel good about it. It was a very calming rain. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, y'all, let me tell you a little bit about this young man that is here. I had to put my glasses on for this, Bobby. And but his bio says Bobby Huntley is a director, producer, writer, and editor who began his journey as a filmmaker at the age of 10 years old. His intense passion for the arts and creativity has captured audiences with each new film. He specializes in striking visuals and period pieces done with little to no budget and resources. We can talk about that. His previous background as a professional editor allows him to know exactly what's needed to effectively save time and resources. He continues to grow his brand and supporters by independently touring the country with his award-winning projects. Bobby strives to create compelling stories and classic films for years and generations to come. We love that. His goal is to continue to inspire all creatives to go after their dreams and complete their projects without fear of the lack of financing and resources. How about that part there?
Amen.
His work has been featured in Ebony, The Root, Madame Noir, Euroweb, Shadow and Act, and BronzeLens Film Festival. What? Yes. So Bobby Huntley, thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Really appreciate that. Let's talk about maybe kind of present day a little bit. What are you doing now?
What am I doing now? Okay.
Well, I was busy when I was trying to get you on the phone, meeting after meeting, and you know how it goes. And I'm like, we're in a pandemic. This man's got meetings after meetings. What's going on?
I was trying to, this whole pandemic, avoid the whole Zoom craze and all these things, but funnily enough, with Coronaman, all my life is on Zoom and all these meetings now, so just burst through the scene. But like I said, a lot of meetings, prepping, you know, different projects, getting my new film that we've been filming for the past 2 years. We're trying to figure out a way to complete it because we only had 2 more days left to film it. It's called Connect the Film, and I'm bringing it to BronzeLens, of course. And we were scheduled to film March 21st. That was going to be our last final wrap of everything. But, you know, Rona hit, so we had to put a pause on it. And so we're looking at trying to get it completed next month, you know, the last 2 days safely, of course. And as you know, when you get some heat on you, you get a little bit of fire. It's all about what do you have next? What do you have next? What do you have next? So I'm developing my upcoming films and projects with some of my favorite collaborators and writers. And we're in the lab and getting those scripts done and ready because we've been pitching and had a lot of meetings and we've had a few bites. They want to go forward and getting them produced. So it's been a beautiful and amazing ride right now.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. So let's go backwards a little bit. I know I started with right now, but let's go backwards a little bit. You came to BronzeLens, brought a film called Magnifique Charlie. Is that right?
Yeah, La Vie Magnifique de Charlie.
Yes, yes, yes. Was that your first feature?
The first that I'll let people see.
Everybody knows about that.
Yeah, it's you know, BronzeLens was my first real foray into seeing a film festival on a massive scale. And I just knew I wanted to be a part somehow, some way. And then a few years later, you know, we got Charlie done and you guys were so warm and receptive to it. That was our first festival for this film. And it's been a tremendous ride and journey ever since. We won over 20 awards and toured the country since then. And we showed it to y'all first, and it was just you allowed us to close out the festival, which was the beautiful thing about it. So that's a huge situation. So it was an amazing time.
So in between then and what I'm reading online about you, you allowed the current situation to affect what it is that you recorded. In other words, the genesis for Coronaman was what we're experiencing now. Right. Talk about that. Talk about the process that made you say, hey, we need to put this on film. Because people have been talking about it, but you did it.
I mean, on the more basic level, it's like as an artist and creative, we have to create to breathe, you know. So all this mass hysteria, to me, it just didn't make sense. It felt like we were living in a movie. That was the only way my mind could make sense of everything that was going on. A horror movie, really. None of this.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. So when it first hit, I was going to do, you know, a Coronaman, but it was more so, look what I can do kind of a thing. And honestly, my spirit wasn't really in the right place, you know, because I just had to cancel completing my film. So I was in a very dark place, on top of you turn on the news and there's more people dying, more deaths. You don't know what's happening. And I prayed on it. And like literally the night before we were going to film, God said, put it down. So that's what I did. Yeah, he said, put it down. And I'm glad I listened to him, because like I said, like my thing of all my work, I want to make sure that my voice, my point of view, what I'm trying to say is not misinterpreted or misunderstood. So I pray for that. And so when it came out few weeks after that the governor was opening up Georgia, I now had a purpose. I had a message. I had a directing. Like I wanted to help my people. I wanted to help our mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, with her message and keeping everyone safe. So it wasn't it was no longer a selfish, you know, oh, look what Bobby can do. It was no longer.
There's a purpose, much bigger purpose.
Place, and I had a purpose, and that's why God allowed so many of the amazing things that's happened out, you know, from this, because you know it was right.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those amazing things that have happened since Coronaman came out.
Yes. Well, what can I talk about? Well, I just, right before that point, I just, you know, got representation, you know, Burke Management and also Guild Talent. So they've been, you know, very helpful, you know, and, you know, but I was new, you know, and low on a totem pole, you know, so to speak. So I knew I had to, as you say, shake the table and let people know, you know, that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So that was also another piece, you know. And when Coronaman hit, that kind of was like made everything and everybody stop. Like, oh, okay, because they didn't know I was doing it. So it started. So now I gave them something to work with. You know, as talent, when you have representation, you have to give them something to work with. That's why they only get 10 to 15%. You have to do the other 85.
Right. How about that? Yes, yes, yes. Well, you know, it's funny because I was on a call similar to this with 7 other film festivals. I was like the 4th in line.
Oh, y'all be talking like that.
And well, no, I mean to talk. And the first 2 people talked about your film. Wow. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm sitting there while I'm talking, I'm on my computer and just like, well, Bobby, he's ours. That's how I felt about it. I was like, yes, yeah. And so that's when I reached out to you and said, hey, as a BronzeLens alum doing marvelous and wonderful things, there's nothing more we'd like than to help tell your story. And so that's why I put you in that newsletter the very following week after we talked.
If anything, and I felt this from when I first met y'all, and I'm gonna tell that story a little later. But like once you're in the family, you are in the family. Like just the constant love and support that y'all continue to give to not only me, but everybody. Like we talk about y'all. Like it's just so much love and support constantly. Whatever projects you have, like each project that I've done since Charlie, you guys have found a way to include it in BronzeLens in some capacity. And so it's just, you know, I want to cry a little bit because it's just a beautiful thing. Like filmmakers, we pray for that kind of support for our stuff, because you know we don't got no money, we don't have this, we don't have that. We're just doing what we can and what we have, and we can't do it without y'all support. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for that.
Oh, I mean, it's our pleasure, because you know we're not as big as people think. With, you know, we don't have as many connections as we'd like to have, or relationships, but what we do have is a voice and a platform. We have a very active social media team. Rhea Posey and her ladies and gentlemen are just amazing. Yeah. We have a newsletter that we really use to push out information about our filmmakers. That's why I used to always say, let me know what your next thing is. Whatever you're doing, just tell me and I'll put something out about it, you know. So that's important that we were able to do that. And so you got a little nibble based off of that newsletter. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so wow. We have, you know, with Coronaman, which was the main thing, was we wanted to help spread awareness, spread the word. We got the opportunity to partner up with, please help me with the name, I am so sorry. It's the Family Health
Family Health Centers of Georgia.
Family Health Centers of Georgia, the amazing people at Family Health Centers of Georgia. So we've partnered with them, and in the Metro Atlanta area, and soon we'll be branching out. We're able to screen a commercial version, a 30-second version of the Coronaman trailer with a tag at the end that lets viewers know where they can receive free COVID-19 testing in the area. And we're raising awareness, and as people are getting it, and it's, you know, they're getting messages on their phone with a link to the trailer. Like, it's just more than I ever could have imagined. We're helping people. We're helping save lives out here. So thank you so much again for making that happen as well.
That is so awesome. Now you're gonna bring a tear to my eye. Oh my God, I didn't know the depth of all that was happening with that.
I didn't know either. People were texting like, I'm getting text messages with your movie, and they're like, don't be Coronaman, don't be Coronaman. I didn't know. And then of course people sharing, you know, when it's on, because it's on MTV, BET, Bravo, Lifetime, all these channels. I'm like, never would I have thought that my work would be on these channels, you know, so it's beautiful.
You know, you listened and you heard in your, as you say, you heard the voice of God and you followed it. Pastor just gave a sermon. My pastor just gave a sermon the other week about, you know, we listen and then we're like, never mind. Yeah. And you go and, you know, do your own thing. But you listened and you were true to that without a big funding. But you were on purpose. On purpose. And you were, I did that on purpose. But really, you were on purpose with what you did with Coronaman.
Shout out to my dad, you know, Reverend Bobby Huntley. I'm a PK, you know, but that's what we talk about. Is keeping that line of communication open with God or whoever and whatever you believe in. But it's like, it's bigger than you, and timing is everything. I know we want to get things done now. I need this, and to break it down even to a more philosophical level, shout out to Erin Jones, who, you know, I love her. She was also in Coronaman. She was like, don't say that. Because she knows I've been trying to finish my film, connect the film, connect underscore the film on all the social media. I've been trying to get it completed over 2 years, and I'm like, you know, just so frustrated, so depressed. I was depressed like when all this hit, for real, trust me. But she texted me, as she does, and she said, God put Connect on hold so that Coronaman could put it on the bigger platform, which he did completely.
That right there.
So I was like, oh, that's why. So, you know, you just got to trust the timing of everything. Because, you know, had it came out a year ago like I wanted to, it probably wouldn't have the same impact as it would, you know, when it comes out later this year. So
that is such a beautiful story. Absolutely awesome. So, you remember I told you about my 4 little words?
Yes.
Denton. Oh, Denton Film Festival sends you some Denton.
I know. I love Denton. They're an amazing festival too. Hey, y'all. Down
Yes. Yes. So I have my 4 little words. They're not so little, but what I've discovered is that every filmmaker, every creative, I'm a creative, possesses one of these qualities and more. That would be perseverance, creativity, collaboration, passion. So pick a number from 1 to 4. They're not in any kind of order. I didn't say them in order. So pick a number from 1 to 4, and let's see what your take is on one of these qualities.
I like 3.
Number 3?
Yeah.
Number 3 is collaboration.
Okay.
Bam! Talk about that.
So, collaboration. You have to have a collaborative spirit to do films. It's not about you. You have to have a team that you can trust, that you can grow with, that you can love with, that you can fight with, that you can make up with, and just be all the things together. It's all about collaboration. I would not be where I am and where I'm going without having a collaborative spirit. Like in film school, everybody was trying to be the next Spike Lee, the next this, the next that, but all they saw was just Spike Lee. But what you don't understand was, what they didn't understand at that time, you have to have a team. I was about my team. We were called the Workaholics, you know what I'm saying? And we were all together, making movies together. We was putting out new movies and contents and shorts every week. And they're like, how are you able to do this? Because we're a team. You have to have the right team. It's all about your team. So that's collaboration. There we go.
Collaboration. I agree with you 100%. And I have written down my notes to give a shout out to the BronzeLens team. So this team is absolutely perfect because we could not do what we do. All the things that you've seen that helped you as a filmmaker at the festival, but all of the things that all of you see is not a Kathleen Bertrand effort by any means. I'm in it, but I'm part of a wonderful, amazing group that really helps us out and pushes BronzeLens and makes us what we are. There's Deirdre Mcdonald, who's our artistic director.
I love her. She's my heart.
Yes, we love Deirdre. Deirdre has what I've been calling for years her exacting eye. But because Deirdre really does look at all the films and is part of that screening process, that is why we are an Oscar qualifying film festival for the short film, because of the quality of the films that we get to produce. We've got Rhea Posey, who I mentioned to you before. Social media team is off the chain. And they also tutor me on all things, you know, IG, FB, Dropbox. I don't know. Terry Morris is our director of PR, always pushing out the positive information about BronzeLens and especially taking care of our bi-weekly baby, the BronzeLens newsletter. And we really appreciate her work behind the scenes. Nena Nchege is awesome because she keeps us organized. So I know you met or interacted with Nena sometime during the festival. Kim Malhoit does our BronzeLens graphics. And if you like the way that you looked in that meme, that's all Kim. And she is just amazing and wonderful at what she does.
Thanks, Kim.
Stephanie Lee is our webmaster and keeping the BronzeLens website up to date and making us look good. And my daughter, Chioma Bertrand, is our filmmaker liaison that you got a chance to meet during the festival. And so this amazing team, along with our board, really makes sure that BronzeLens stays the course and keeps pushing for excellence and being able to just present something like this. This came out of a team concept, a team meeting as to how we could connect with our folks during this time of pandemic. How do we let people know we're still alive and there are vital people and creatives like yourself that are in the world doing marvelous things. So this has just been a really, really good chance for me to talk about our team. So thank you for that. Thank you for picking that word, Bobby.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to talk about in the world because people got to understand that. And like a further offshoot of that is community. I have my mentors and, you know, the older people that come on board and help me with my projects and things like that. But I also love to foster and bring in new talent. I bring in new up and coming producers who's never done projects before to give them their first credits, new up and coming casting directors. You have to, when you have a hand up for yourself to be lifted up to the industry, you have to have a hand down to bring somebody else with you. So try to work both at the same time. So.
Hey.
Yeah.
And some days it's more this hand and that, and some days it's more that hand. Right. You have to balance it out. But that's great because you are taking the time at this stage in your career to share your gift. And that is just so important, Bobby. That's so important.
Because that's where my blessings come from. How am I able to get all these projects done with little or no resources or anything like that? So you have to be a part of the community and, you know, give as much as you take.
Yes. So didn't somebody tweet about you or something? There was some names. You can drop a name or two in here because some folks tweeted about Coronaman. I know. You could go ahead and say it. It's okay.
Well, okay. So Ava DuVernay, that's one that I was excited about.
Yes.
Jordan Peele's company, Monkey Paw Productions, who is producing Candyman. And I've been wanting to get their attention for a while now, so I'm very happy about that. So many celebrities. The ball started with like Candy Burris, who else? Usher, Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. It's just the list goes on and on. It's still going today. People are still sharing it and spreading the word. So it's been a truly organic experience. And
I love it. They're all saying your name. And Coronaman.
Yeah. But, you know, everybody want to keep everybody safe. So that's why I love it. They're spreading the word.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. So, Bobby, before we get to Q&A, I'll show you mine. You show me yours.
Okay.
But you go first.
Well, further keeping with what we discussed earlier, like I somehow managed to sneak in to the 2011, I believe, BronzeLens, but it was like, yeah, I did. I'm telling on myself to you. I'm sorry. I snuck in. Not only did I snuck into the volunteers brunch. So y'all had food, and I got me a plate. Somehow I sat at y'all table.
Did you really?
I mean, you know, I walk with God. So if God say you belong in the room, I'm gonna make my way into that room. But anyway, but y'all was just so, and I'm fresh out of film school. Like, I've never seen a film festival up close. Like I was like, why didn't they talk about film festivals? But anyway, but y'all was just so warm, open, and inviting. I was telling these little projects that I wanted to do, and oh yeah, whenever you get it done, just go ahead and submit it. We want it, we love it. Just a nobody, you know what I'm saying? Just you guys just had so much love, and just I was like, I never forgot it. So 5 years later or whatever, when I finally got Charlie into it, and y'all was the first festival that I was ever in.
Oh my goodness.
And this is the poster that we used to not only promote, but we passed it out at the screening in Sunday.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Because your folks were all over the place.
Yo, I was not playing. Like, yo, this is our first movie. We got to do it big. And y'all allowed us the space and opportunity. You allowed us to bring in a step and repeat, red carpet. Yes. We had press and everything. Yes. And
you must have been special because, you know, I just clamped down on all that. You know? So, but I said, you know what? He went to the time, trouble, energy to put this up, to make it possible. Let's go ahead and just, you know, let him make it do what it do. You know,
he showed me the possibilities of what's possible. And from every festival since then, I just did it bigger and better because I've learned how to do it from y'all. And it's been, and 20 awards later, it all started with y'all. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I didn't know that. That was quite a surprise. Thank you, Bobby. So for my show and tell, what a lot of people don't know about me is that I'm also a jazz singer. And this past week in Atlanta, well, the past 20-something days, the Atlanta Film Festival has been streaming a jazz performance every night at 9 on their Facebook page. And so I was on this past Sunday, but I've actually performed at the Jazz Festival 7 times. I've done the Montreux Jazz Festival as well. And so I wanted to show my CD because y'all didn't know about that, did you? Did you know about that? And the name of my latest CD was It's Time to Love, which is really what we need right now.
For sure.
More love, compassion. Just seems so vacant, so distant from this life that we're living. I mean, I'm okay. I'm at home and I live, you know, in the woods and stuff. But for people that have to interact, that have to be out there every day, I'm the mother of sons. And any Black woman with sons or husband, brothers, or ourselves, this is just, you feel just so fragile right here. And so it really is time to love, even from a social distance way, be close to your family and friends and people that love you, because that is real support that kind of helps get through this struggle that we're going through these days. So anyway, that's my show and tell.
Beautiful.
So y'all got any questions for Bobby now?
I want to do well. Let's just shooby-dooby-doo. I'm sorry. I'm a mess. I know.
Really? So we'll practice for our duet.
Okay, we'll practice. I started the music first too, so I got a little something going on over here. We'll talk about it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really? Did you sing?
Do some music since I was 5 years old.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
You do videos? Just
whatever you need from me, I am down. We don't even have to talk. I'll show up and make sure you good.
What? Okay, we have to talk about that. So any questions for Bobby, y'all? I'm trying to see what I can see here. Teamwork makes the dream work. In love with BronzeLens. Don't let me touch the wrong thing and disconnect. So I'm trying to just scroll through. Hold on, everybody. I apologize. I was not keeping up. Bobby, can you talk about what it takes to do a film on a budget?
I'm sorry, throw that at me one more time.
Can you talk about doing your film project, any project, on a budget?
Okay, well, it starts with what do you have access to right now? So as you're writing, consider what you have access to. Locations, you know, some people that work at a restaurant or something like that. So just work within what you have. Of course, way before that time, you should be in the community making real authentic relationships, real friendships, supporting each other. So by the time your time is up and you have a project coming on, you'll have some people who are willing and ready to want to support you and come on board with what you're doing. Whether it could be, you know, bringing their gear and stuff and helping you and things like that. If you really truly don't have a budget, put as much time, effort, and money into feeding your people properly. If you have some bomb A1 food on set, keeping them fed constantly, and don't be too hardy with the soul food and stuff. Don't put people to sleep. You know, they'll keep coming back and working with you more and more. This project I was talking about, Connect, was the first budgeted project in terms of having investors and things like that come on board that I've had. So everything I've done up to this point, Auntie, Louisiana 961, Charlie, all these things, no money to be found. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you get people to help you here and they're like, okay, can you buy food for this day? Or da, 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 da. But it all came from me doing these projects with nothing to show that I could handle bigger projects, bigger budgets, and things like that. So just start with what you have access and write and create around that. Do that project, put it out, market it, promote it. You're going to need some money for marketing, promoting too. But that will get more people coming into your situation, bringing their resources in, which sometimes may be money, and befriend some dentists, doctors, real estate people, you know, because they have a creative thing inside all of them that they weren't able to do because they had to study so long in their respective fields. So they just might be excited to come on board with your project and help you out financially if you know how to talk to them right.
Okay, awesome. Because, you know, here's some other inspiration. You know, Ava DuVernay's very first film was a $50,000 budget film that she brought to BronzeLens, her very first film and our very first year. And so that is why we have such a long and great history together. But she trusted us to to show her film, and we have been indebted ever since to that relationship. So here's some questions that have come up. Where can they catch Coronaman? Here's your time to
Google Coronaman. What you see is what you get at this point. There have been talks to possibly do some other things related to Coronaman in terms of extending it or doing a film or this, that, and third. Until those talks become serious and they open up a check to do that, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for now, it's a PSA. The 2-minute version is the only version that there is. So please enjoy and stay safe and stay home.
Okay, PSA on Instagram?
Everywhere. You can just Google it. Everywhere. Pull right up. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Coronaman.
Here's another question. How did you go about building your team?
Yeah, just organically. Fortunately, you know, coming from film school, I had a built-in team from that, you know. But for people who aren't, you know, coming out of film school, you know, you just have to be in the community. Go to these festivals, go to BronzeLens, network, go to these screening rooms. Shout out to Greenlit ATL. I'm currently in the Legacy building. You know, Ernestine and Jay, thank y'all so much for having us in here. But this comes from networking and coming out and extending yourself, and people extend themselves to you. And that's how you get a team and your supporters, and you just keep building and, you know, organic from there. But you have to be real, authentic, honest, and organic in your approach and how you treat people.
Okay. 2 more questions. One is from, let me see, this is CMass_Enterprise. My sis, CR Capers of the Hip Hop Film Festival has put Coronaman on blast up here in New York.
Yes.
And we loved it. Do you have future plans to do any workshops up here?
CR, that's my heart. I love that festival too. So, I mean, you know, that's my New York people. Big up. Whatever CR need me to do, I'm down. I'm up there in a New York minute. Say less.
Okay. Okay. Um, two more questions. How did you go? Well, no, three. Yeah, three. Number one, this is from Swinton Actress. No, I did that one. How did you go about building your team? All right, thank you. From Camilla_Elaine, for you, what is the most difficult part of filmmaking, Bobby?
Outside of the no money, or the budget that you would like. But I'm sure even on a 20, 30, $50 million budget, they wish they had more money to do things and they run out. So, I mean, that's going to be a relative problem. But, just outside of that, the most difficult thing for me is just to make sure that everything and everyone is on the same page and everybody's moving towards the same goal. So that's why it's important to have as many meetings as possible, as many rehearsals as possible, have a strong infrastructure in terms of your producers and things like that, your AD, to make sure that communication is the same and consistent all across the board. And it's all about building that culture around your project that people know is professional, we're serious. Yes, we're going to have a great time. You're going to be taken care of. There's going to be a ball, but we're here with a goal and a job in mind. And we all have to put whatever issues or things that we have in this right, respectful place, and let's just get this done. So just maintaining and keeping the culture correct, because you are going to be dealing with a lot of different personalities. You're going to be dealing with some egos and things like that, and not everybody's on the same page. But all that it is communication, effective communication, and just being cognizant of everyone and their strengths and weaknesses.
You're so young and you speak like you've done this for years.
It's a PK thing, you know what I'm saying? We just, watching my dad speak and preach, I'm all, kind of got a knack for it. What can I say?
I love it. I love it. Hey, shout out to Brayley Evans. Hey, Brayley.
Hi, Brayley.
You're BronzeLens Woman Superstar.
Yes.
And we miss you. Hope we're seeing you on television and something real soon. Okay, one more question here. How did you land an agent/manager?
Well, it all definitely comes down to being consistent with your work and making sure your work makes waves, makes noise. So all my work, fortunately, is either gone viral or did very well in the festival circuit. So you have to almost have your head down and continue building the work, because like I always say, they're not only watching you, but trust me, they are watching you, but they're watching to see how many times you could do it, how many different ways you can do it, because it's like an investment. They're all investing in you. So they need to know that you can knock it out the park no matter what, the project is or what you have going on. So if you just focus on the work, I promise and guarantee you they're going to be coming around, sooner or later to stick around. What you doing? How can we be a part of what you got going on?
Okay, I promise. This is the last one. I promise.
I don't mind.
This is from Carol.Massey. 1671. How does a writer get her stories to a filmmaker? And I'm sure a lot of people always ask that question.
Again, it all comes down to community. Network across from the people that you have access to and that's around you. So try to go to these events. I know there's no real events right now. Social media, your social media has to be on point. Join these different Facebook groups, these screenwriter groups, filmmaker groups, and you have to make it known that this is what you do. Not only what you do, but this is who you are. If you're a writer, you need to be a writer, and your social media presence needs to reflect that. You need to, there's different rules and different feelings and thoughts and opinions about this, but you need to submit your films, your scripts rather, to different film festivals. Try to win as many as you can, or just show that you're doing something, that you're creating something. And you just might have to, unfortunately, bypass reaching out to other filmmakers and just see if you can come direct the project yourself, even if you don't want to. So you might have to be open to that as well. You have to sometimes show people that you are a moving train, and that if they want to get on board, they better find a way to get on board quick and hurry, because you're already moving.
Oh, look now. Yes. When I did my first CD, I was saying this the same thing. People were talking about it, but I said, you know, this is way back. This is back in the age when people had tapes, you know. And I'm like, okay, I don't want that, because if you give that to somebody that you want to hear, you got to tell them, well, you got to go 5 minutes in, and after the end of the drummer solo, that's my part. And I'm like, no, that can't work. I need a product that talks about what it is that I want to talk about. And so that's how I created my first CD. I got investors so that I could have the kind of product that I wanted, because I just couldn't depend. You know, you can depend on somebody else sometimes to say it for you.
Right.
You just have to go ahead and say it yourself. And I didn't want to wait for a record deal. Let me just push my product myself, and the product brought a record deal. One more question. Rodney Perry's in the house. Hey, Rodney. Rodney was our BronzeLens Awards MC last year. You were so awesome. Miss you. His question is, what is your favorite digital platform?
I don't have one. Yeah, I don't really have one. I mean, you know, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. No, I don't watch a lot of stuff. I'm a creator. I'm a creative, so I'm in the lab mostly creating. I got that from Missy. She don't listen to the radio that much. She shuts herself off when she's in create mode. So that's kind of, you know, where I am. So if I see something in passing, I catch it, you know, but I just be in the lab working for the most part. I don't watch too much stuff, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. From Moji, I'm still going if you haven't.
No, yeah, keep going. I have the time. This is your
from Moji, whom we love.
Love you, Moji.
What film school did you go to, and do you believe it's necessary to go to film school to make films?
She's about to get me in trouble, and Moji knows what she's doing too. I go to different schools, mainly film schools across the country, or film programs. So, you know, I love to speak to the kids. Honestly, you don't have to, but film school, or any school rather, it's all about the networking aspect, the people that you come up with. And if you align with the right people and treat people well, you never know where they could end up in life, and what they can do. I know a few of my friends in school. One of them is in here right now, and she's in LA working on some big projects like Blackish and stuff. So, you know, she see me still working. So when she gets her opportunity to do things, she might reach out to me and, you know, make some things happen. But, you know, whatever. But, you know, so it's about that relationship. So, and all of that. But at the same time, you can still do that without going to film school. Of course, you can go to YouTube University and learn whatever you need to know. But you still have to be out here building relationships, be on these sets, be a PA, donate as much of your time as you can. And, you know, so there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, I'm $200,000 in debt. But, you know, I mean, you know, such is life. You know, things go on.
Still smiling.
Hey, you know, it's going to be all right. You know, I'm going to take care of that debt with one check. I speak it. Not a problem. Gone.
Speak it into existence. That's right. That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. Well, Bobby, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This has been more than marvelous. I am so appreciative that you could spend a little time with us and our BronzeLens family out there. And you're so inspiring with what you're doing. And you do speak it into existence, whatever that is. You speak it into existence, and that's an important part. So everybody, thank Bobby. You can find him, B. Huntley Films. That's right, on Instagram, right? B. Huntley Films. Did I say it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can find me, Kathleen Bertrand. And you can find BronzeLens on Instagram and Facebook. You know, I have to put them all in there.
Yes.
And next week, check this out. Next week, we've got another BronzeLens filmmaker named Dewey Gerard.
Dewey.
And we are so proud of Dewey. Yes!
He put me on the spot. So last year,
daytime Emmys. Okay?
Last year, he put me on the spot. I was just trying to sneak into the back because, you know, he was doing a workshop. I'm sitting about to sit down. He's like, and Bobby Huntley in the back. Everybody looked at me. I was like, why you do that, man? So I'm going to get him back one of these days. Shout out to Dewey. Love you, bro. Congrats on your Emmy nomination.
Isn't that amazing?
Come on,
For
now.
Peter, that was the best webisode series at BronzeLens just this past year.
It's all possible.
So
Nothing is impossible. That's right there. That's proof right there.
that's right. That's right. Y'all are amazing and you're so inspiring. So thank you very much. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Next week, same time, 2 p.m. on Wednesday, June 3rd. Dewey Gerard.
Be there, y'all.
Take care. Be safe. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Take care of yourselves.
Glory
Take
to
care
God. Glory to God. God bless you.
Glory to God and wash your hands.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.